dear students, welcome to Study of Science. In this session, we are moving towards the next chemical property of the carbon, that is the substitution reaction. We have completed understanding the combustion, oxidation as well as the addition reaction in the previous sessions. In this session, we are going to focus towards the next type of reaction, that is substitution reaction. Then, what is substitution reaction, or why do we call it as a substitution reaction? It is because here one type of an atom or a group of atom are replacing by other. It is getting substituted by other. That is the reason we call it this reaction as a substitution reaction. Students, we know that the saturated hydrocarbons are unreactive. We have studied about saturated hydrocarbon and the unsaturated hydrocarbon, where the saturated hydrocarbons are unreactive and they are inert. And we also know that they have single covalent bond between them. Saturated hydrocarbons, they have the single covalent bond between them. But in the presence of sunlight, chlorine is added to hydrocarbon to make that reaction very fast. When chlorine is added in the presence of sunlight to a saturated hydrocarbon, that reaction gets fast. It becomes fast. So here the chlorine is replacing. It is replacing the hydrogen from the saturated hydrocarbon. See, we have a saturated hydrocarbon here. From this saturated hydrocarbon, chlorine is replacing the hydrogen. And it takes place only in the presence of sunlight. This happens in the presence of sunlight. And this reaction we call it as substitution reaction. Okay? Substitution reaction is a type of reaction where one type of atom or a group of atom, it is being replaced by another. It is being replaced by another, and as a result of this, a new product is formed. Now let us understand this by looking at some of the examples. See, here we have a methane. What is the formula of methane? CH4. We have methane, and for this methane, when we add the chlorine in the presence of sunlight, it forms a new product. Here, the chlorine is replacing the hydrogen. As a result of this, a new product is formed. What is the product formed here? The chloromethane. CH3Cl is chloromethane, and along with this, HCl is also formed. See, very simple. There is methane. When we add chlorine, the chlorine is substituting the hydrogen from methane. So as a result of that, a new product is formed, that is CH3Cl, which we call it as chloromethane. Along with that, HCl is also formed. Let us move towards the next step. See, now we have chloromethane, CH3Cl. And for this chloromethane, when we add chlorine in the presence of sunlight, again, this chlorine, it replaces the hydrogen. Chlorine, it replaces the hydrogen. As a result, again, the new product CH2Cl2 is formed. CH2Cl2 is formed, which is called as dichloromethane. CH2Cl2 is a dichloromethane. Along with the HCl is also formed. It continues. And this reaction continues. It continues till all the hydrogen atoms are being replaced by chlorine. And then the reaction stops. See, for example, we have seen methane, and for this methane, chlorine is added. As a result, chlorine substitutes the hydrogen. We call chloromethane, correct? And for this chloromethane, again we have added the chlorine. Again, the chlorine replaces the hydrogen in the presence of sunlight. As a result of dichloromethane is formed. And for this dichloromethane, again when we add chlorine, again this chlorine replaces the hydrogen from dichloromethane. As a result of this, trichloromethane is formed. It is CHCl3. Trichloromethane is formed along with HCl. Further, when we move, for this trichloromethane, again when we add chlorine in the presence of sunlight, we get tetrachloromethane, that is CCl4. And this CCl4 now, it does not have hydrogen. That is what I told you. This reaction continues until all the hydrogen atoms are being replaced by the chlorine. Now we got tetrachloromethane and this reaction stops. Okay. All the hydrogen atoms are being replaced by chlorine. It has been substituted by chlorine in the presence of sunlight. Hence, this reaction is called as substitution reaction. Okay? So let's recall what is substitution reaction. It is a reaction where one type of atom or a group of atom, it is replaced by another. Okay, for that you can write the examples whichever I have been explained you till now. Clear? I hope I made this concept very clear. You have understood about the substitution reaction. If you like this video, you can share with your friends, and if you have not subscribed to my channel till now, kindly subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell notification. That's all for this session. I'm signing off. Thank you.